of Motoring, and I'm standing here with George from AutoTrader. So, George, how are you finding the Festival of Motoring this year?
It's the third year we're running this, we'll be partnering with the Festival of Motoring, and it's the best year so far. As a matter of fact, when we got here this morning, there were people running down to the queue to get into the cars that we've got on offer.
Okay, so that's my next question. What do you guys have on offer this year at your section?
So first of all, we've got the free hot laps, which everybody is queuing for. We've got the Mercedes-Benz AMG C63s. We've got a Ford Mustang. We've got a Porsche 911. We've got a whole bunch of cars that people go for rides in. And we've also got the tire changing facility, so you can come and test your skills with Formula One tire changing. We've got the simulator with, I think the track today is Monza they're riding on. And then we've got a whole bunch of competitions going on the stand as well. And then we've also got the VIP hot laps in the Ferrari F360s.
Yeah, that's what I did yesterday. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
To serious business, what trends are you currently seeing in the automotive industry happening in South Africa?
There's a definite downward pressure on vehicle pricing. So what we're seeing is people buying cheaper cars, particularly the Suzuki Swift and smaller cars of that nature. And what that's doing is it's causing the average price inflation of cars to come down. So for the last 6 months, we've seen used car price inflation come down to about 1.6% from AutoTrader's data. Second thing we're seeing is the average price of a car listed on AutoTrader is going up. It's at about 4.6% up at the moment, at just under 500,000 Rand per listing. So what that tells me is more expensive cars are taking longer to sell and cheaper cars are selling faster.
Well, that does make sense. How has consumers' behavior towards purchasing vehicles changed in the last few years? Like, what are people looking for, except for cheaper cars, smaller brands? What else did you pick up are the people looking for?
So obviously people shop for deals. South Africa is a car-faring nation. We don't have a very good public transport infrastructure. So consumers are almost forced to own a car. But I also think South Africans love owning cars. You could just look at what's going on here today. People of all walks of life are here looking at the cars that are on offer. So the only real thing that's changed in South Africa is the way that people shop for cars. That has changed. People are visiting fewer dealerships, making their decision online more than making their decision offline.
I do the same. What is your feel, or what is your take on the electric cars coming into South Africa?
We have to follow suit as a country. Europe has gone that way, America's gone that way, and what we're finding is electric car searches and advert views and response and sales are still rising at an exponential rate. Something to the effect of about 48% increase year on year. But it's off a small base because the numbers are still very small. The biggest challenge, though, is still the price of the electric cars, and until the price comes down below 500,000 Rand, I don't think electric cars are going to be for the masses just yet.
And also, I think until they figured out load shedding, right?
Well, load shedding is a consideration. At the moment, the electric cars don't put that much pressure on the grid because most of the electric cars that are in the market at the moment are for affluent people or have been bought by affluent people who mostly have solar on their houses, and that supplements the charging of the electric car. And I think once the electric car gets down to the masses, that's when the load shedding issue will start to show its face.
That makes sense. How does AutoTrader cultivate relationships with car dealerships, and what value do you provide them?
So car dealerships are our paying customers. Car dealerships pay to put adverts of cars on AutoTrader, and they're the supply side of the demand and supply part of the economics of buying and selling cars. They supply cars for AutoTrader to advertise, and they pay us a subscription to advertise those cars. And so car dealerships are extremely valuable in South Africa, not only because they're valuable to AutoTrader, but also because of the nature of which in which the country is. The crime, people are nervous to buy and sell cars privately. That makes the dealership an even more important part of that economic value.
Okay, great. Well, that is very true. What challenges do dealerships face in managing vehicle inventory?
So that's a really good question. Data is becoming the new oil when it comes to buying and selling cars. And AutoTrader sits on millions and millions and millions of data points. We know who searches for cars. Well, not necessarily who searches for the car, but what they search for, what price buckets they search for, times of the day they search, what makes, models, and variances that they search for, what features they search for on cars. And as a result of that, we're able to provide data back to the dealership that helps them run their businesses more efficiently. Dealers also get data from third-party sources, which is very important. But data is the new oil that dealerships have to take on in order to make their dealership successful.
Well, that's good to know. What is your predictions for the South African vehicle trading market over the next 5 to 10 years?
So let's take it 12, 3, 5, and then the longer term. So I think in the immediate future, the most important thing that I think is going to change the game is the interest rates. Interest rates are way too high at the moment, and it's causing consumers that bought cars in 2020, 2021 to battle to get out of those cars because their amount outstanding on the car is just too great, and therefore buying another car and the installment with the interest rates the way they are makes it very, very difficult for those consumers to get out of those cars. So the wheel is turning slowly, but the moment the interest rates start to come down, I believe that will stimulate more demand, and then we'll see more vehicles selling into the market. In the shorter to medium term, which may be 1 to 3 years, I think we'll see more Chinese vehicles coming to the country. We can see BYD is here today. They're a battery company. Hopefully, one of them bring a car into the country that's under 500,000 Rand as an electric vehicle. So I think we'll start to see a bit more traction from an electric vehicle point of view, and maybe and hopefully more demand for new vehicles, because at the moment new vehicles are under serious pressure. The other thing that I see starting to happen is likely more government incentives for electric vehicles, because at the moment there are no consumer incentives for electric vehicles. There's only supply side manufacturing incentives for electric vehicles. So hopefully that happens in the next 1 to 3 years. 3, 5, 10 years on, I believe that we will see more and more of the South African fleet turned into electric vehicles.
Great. Off topic, do you think Formula One is going to come to South Africa anytime soon?
Hopefully, if I say so, it'll happen, but I don't have that kind of power. I do believe at some point it will come to South Africa, but it has to be a perfect storm. I think it's very much down to government support, municipality support, and then corporate support. And then Formula One will come to South Africa. I'm hoping, holding thumbs.
Holding thumbs with you. Well, that is a mouthful of things for you guys. Thank you so much, George. I hope you enjoy the festival, and good luck with everything further. I mean, I know the car industry is changing by the day. I mean, I can't even keep up. But it seems like you said, it's the way of the life.